So regarding your question, as far as your son wants to study guitar, just came out of the classical guitar academy and want to do a degree in flamenco, if that's advisable or not, I first ask you that what do you want to study, either traditional flamenco or Paco de Lucia's style. Then you said that you want to study modern flamenco, so the Paco de Lucia's style. But for that, we don't have an official degree now. Why? Because to do that, you will have to be inside the mafia of the government mafia, which controls that. So first of all this paper thing, because you asked me what I think about, is that, well, look, in my experience, 30 years ago, it had a meaning also to have a master degree in guitar or in classical guitar, in other areas to get a job. Like, for example, I have it, then I also have a professorship position at the Royal Conservatory of Canada for several years. So those kinds of jobs you cannot do without papers, right? But really, you have to evaluate if you want that, because, well, nowadays, of course, you should know that there is a lot of unemployment in Spain of young guys who have not one but 2 or 3 PhDs, several careers, and still they don't get the job. So all this searching for the degrees and papers, that has some sense before, it's my personal opinion at least, no? And you have to evaluate what do you want, because if you want your son to study, to learn to play well, then for that he doesn't have a title, and also because he already had the master degree in classic guitar, so why he would need any other thing? Because you asked me about conservatories here or other schools which may also be teaching flamenco guitar, and yeah, in fact they do, but that's not the Paco style, that's another thing. So that's traditional guitar, right? And therefore, you know, in my personal opinion as well, all this school thing implies wasting a lot of time, energy and money and time. Time, because they go like sociology of the flamenco now, lessons, all this university kind of study for that. It's a bit for a researcher, and well, in jazz it has much deepness, but in flamenco it's just, you know what, I would say that it's only a very plastic thing to just rely on that and not in your own personal development, right? Because you go there, you pay the fee, and then you get a so-called degree in flamenco. But now what? All these people coming out from there, which I have seen, playing just like tourist flamenco kitsch stuff, right? Not the real thing. Why? Because the main concern is that they fulfill the quota of lessons, etc., pay the scholarship, and that's it. And then so the unspoken promise of getting a job with that in the air, people fall trapped to that, and then also, of course, they don't have a job. I said because my students also many times come from there. And I point here because I live at 2 blocks from the Conservatory of Malaga, but I think the one that is doing these flamenco courses is only in Cordoba and in Barcelona. And of course, that is up to you, right? But for sure, what you will learn there is as useful to play Paco de Lucia's style as it is training to go to the North Pole, training how you should dress and survive there if you are meant to go to the Sahara Desert. So your preparation you get there is not for Sahara Desert, right? So it's for that, it's for the ice. So it's just to be a waste of time, because if you have to, we're already grown old, we need to learn fast, and if we do that, then we will achieve merit, right? Then if what you need is a job because of a paper, then that's another thing, right? Then it may be convenient. In fact, I never want to do this career thing, but my parents forced me that you do this thing, you have to do it, otherwise nobody will take you seriously. And yeah, I never use it until I went to the Royal Conservatory in Canada. There I needed these papers, otherwise I don't get the job to teach there. Because just because you play, you cannot go, you have to show how you are actually graduated, right? So that's another thing. But now, that's not even the way to get a job in music, because things are changing a lot. I will post at the description of this video another. First one will be John McLaughlin explaining what's happened with the record industry. And this record industry, well, of course, is finished, because since the time that the CD was created, and you don't have to buy the LP before you, or you buy the LP, or you don't listen to the stuff. Then cassette came, and there it started to go down. Eventually, the death started for the record industry, and of course for the musicians getting revenue out of that. Paco told me before I became rich by selling LP. Now I cannot sell because people pass it on internet free. Right? So this is, you know what I'm talking about. So you listen what McLaughlin had to say, because if you will have to go 2 or 3 years to the conservatory here in Spain to get a so-called flamenco degree, which for the knowledge you will get will not be making you able to play the repertoire you want to play, or the kind of music you want to play inside the Paco de Lucía style, or composition stuff, or playing in groups, improvising, etc. It will not give you that. It will cost you so much time, money, etc. And then with that title, who will give you a job? They will not give you a job with that to your son. So you have to evaluate all that, right? To me, you know, to conclude, and I want to make this very long, but the thing is, I do care about your question, and that's why I'm answering. And because I'm supposed to give a good advice, but to me, only thing that has meaning is knowledge. If you get knowledge, either you have the paper or not, that's first you have to see what you want, and then take a decision according to that. But just for papers, what a paper can validate. Now they are also talking a lot about these currencies not being very worthy, or not keeping its value, right? Why? Because it's paper money. So paper, even money in paper, at some point in history, happened that it lose value, right? So let's speak of your diploma there. That will not make you play, of course, right? What you want to play. But there is also that option. I hope this information is useful for you. See you next time.